Hey guys, welcome to the Triple Special Podcast. My name is Lee, along with my two friends, Jordan and Joe. Jordan and Joe have been lifelong friends, and I met both of them in college. From then on, we became great friends. We always had great conversations. So we decided to start our own podcast. This podcast has no rhyme or rhythm, and we just talk about whatever comes to our heads. Please sit back and enjoy. If you're on YouTube, drop a like, drop a sub, leave a comment, and tell us what you think. Ask a question, you'll be featured next episode. If you're on Spotify or Apple, drop a follow and leave a rating. Without further ado, the Triple Special Podcast.
Wait, Lee, where's the rest of the picture?
That's all I can get in that little circle.
Oh, it's just a little circle. Joe, did you go to the chat yet? Did you see it?
No. How do I do that?
If you click, see like the little chat bubble in the top right on the video thing.
Get gritty.
Joe's identity remains a mystery.
You can send me a nice picture that you want to add.
Oh.
Just screenshot what it is right now. Oh God. Joey crack.
I think I've had enough of my face being shown.
Keep it a home run.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're tied. They're not losing, so. But it is only a matter of time.
So, okay, I just went off of Discord and I'm using like another app. Does that mess with me or anything?
No, you're still there.
No, I could still
Okay.
hear you.
Don't be nasty.
Don't be nasty. Yeah.
There we go.
What is that?
Oh. What just happened?
I added a background.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
My pussy.
So are we ready to get started?
I'm on the pooer.
That's alright.
I'm also at 2% battery.
Well, did you decide what you want our first topic to be?
Man.
Oh, I thought you had topics written down and everything.
Well, we have a ton of topics, but we haven't decided which one we're going to start with.
Is Bam Adebayo an elite NBA player?
Is that
That's the answer.
Is that an actual topic?
No.
I was gonna say, because I don't know.
We could always start with the topic that got this started for me and Joe. The wing T offense.
The what?
The wing T offense.
Oh, Joe was telling me about that, how he was explaining it to his kids at school.
So I am a wing T hater.
I am too.
I don't think that should be your whole offense.
All right, let's hear the excuses.
What do you mean excuse? I watched Wyomissing lose a state championship because they couldn't get out of the wing tee.
Well, here's my thing, Joe. I'm sour to it because look what happened to us. It didn't fit us, so I think that's what soured me to it.
Exactly. And let me tag on to that. It didn't fit us. It fits certain teams, though.
It does work for certain teams, yes.
But isn't it? The problem is, what if you get shut down? You have nothing to go to, because most of the times your quarterback can't fucking throw or do anything to save his life.
I mean, that's true.
Because the kid for Wyomissing, his arm is a fucking noodle at best. Like Southern Columbia it works for because they have athletes in the backfield.
They can run whatever the fuck they
Yeah.
want, to be honest with you.
So exactly what you're saying with that is what I agree with. I think if you're running something like that, you need kids that maybe aren't as like athletic. Maybe kids that aren't as talented, because it's a lot of like you need a selfless quarterback in that.
Yeah, because he
Like,
has
I
to
think
sell
we need
every
smart
movement
players.
that he takes.
Correct.
Can I just say, from a lineman standpoint, and the type of lineman that I was, I hated the wing tee because it was a lot of bullshit maneuvering you had to do as a lineman.
I fully agree with you on that.
Now, personally, I
Like
never
the-
ran a wing tee. But it seems like as a lineman, you're not really blocking the front line a lot. You're mostly looking downfield.
Well, Mount Carmel, our junior year, was the last time we ran it. And it blew to run as a lineman.
Well, now Mount Carmel's building their offense on it. That's their big thing now with young John Dare.
I can't believe Dara went to the wing tee, though, because I felt like he was an advocate against it. But then again, I mean, it's all style. Like, that didn't fit our style for that team.
Well, honestly, with the kids that he had there, probably was the best bet because the traditional offense wasn't going to work.
I mean,
Because at that time, their team was diminished. Because it was after my senior year and there was nobody below us.
and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yes.
I also think it on paper it looked like it could have fit North Schuylkill because I don't think Bobby was the best passer.
I agree with that, and Bobby was very athletic, and Bobby was smart with it, but Bobby was selfish.
That, and I don't think we necessarily had the wide receivers to back up and pass a game. Like, we had Tevin Murray, who was 8 feet tall, but like,
Lazy.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I was going to say, how much skill did he actually need just to bomb a ball up to him?
No,
And that's all it really was when we passed, was just throw the ball as high as you can and let Tevin go get it because he's 10 feet taller than everybody else.
And
it
let's
was
be
either
honest,
that or, for whatever reason, we did get to a third down. It was a curl to Richie.
Yeah, but Richie was like an ideal like slot receiver for us.
Yeah.
but you also had a bull in the backfield, though.
Which year?
Your senior year.
Rapinski?
Yeah.
Uh,
You don't think?
uh,
Or do you think maybe he looked better because of you guys?
he looks better because of us. I would rather Austin Hummel than him 10 times out of 10.
Because
Yeah, Austin Hummel ran really hard.
on film, Rapinski looked untouchable.
Oh, that's a good question for Lee. Like, what was the film sessions like on us going into that week?
It was pretty much. It was not because we started off watching our junior year's game, which was compared to senior a whole different animal.
We weren't even running the same offense.
No, or the same defense because you guys switched to a 3 a little bit less than halfway throughout that game. Because I remember I was playing center because our center was a bitch, and I was up against what's his name?
Paul Dean.
No.
Oh no, Paul was out for that game.
Yeah,
probably.
it was Gadinsky. I think that's why you guys switched to 3 because Dean was out.
Probably because
we
at a
did
point in
switch
time,
to 3 for like a game or two.
yeah, at a point in time, I was supposed to fill in for Paul Dean, and I absolutely hated defense.
Yeah, because
So,
you guys started out in a 4 set, and then I'd say maybe a quarter in, you switched out back to a 3 because I had Gadinsky on me the whole game.
I played defense after the freshman.
But then
you also hate defense.
coming into senior year, there was no hiding what your offense was. It was pretty much as straightforward as it got. It was run.
It really was. We had 2 plays that were 70% of our offense.
Exactly.
Power and counter.
Yeah.
And then, like, on film, Paul Dean doesn't look nearly as indestructible as he is in person.
That guy, he was built for the position he was playing.
Yeah. Cobra Stump.
My God.
Well, that's exactly what it was. Like, when we'd watch film, Paul Dean would have, like, 3 guys on him. And he wouldn't move. He'd be in the same exact spot. And everybody else would just be able to flood in around him.
That was pretty much the idea of our defense. Because even Gadinsky would eat up a blocker or 2.
Yeah, but Gadinsky was able to move.
Yeah, he was.
Well,
Gadinsky
do you remember?
Also, never mind. I guess I shouldn't say that on a podcast.
No, not like anybody's gonna watch this episode.
Gadinsky also did cocaine before games.
I think Disick told me that.
Not all the games, but
The big games.
Huh?
The big games.
I don't know if he did it before Mount Carmel, but he definitely did it for the playoffs.
But it's not like
He did other things that got him hyped up, though.
But it's not like that made him untouchable. He was a good athlete and stuff.
That just made him even stupider, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you talked about when you ran the pool and you just killed our end the whole game.
Oh, yeah, we would just constantly send Gadinsky after your DN.
Yeah, and by the end of the game, that kid was like, man, I was just trying to duck him. That shit was hard. That's great. As you go fucking 50 yards down the field.
I mean, and I think that was kind of the idea of our offense, too, was to just keep hitting them until they broke.
Well, I was so sad senior year that you guys didn't get to play Southern.
Honestly, I kind of was, too. I'm not saying we would have won, but it would have been a...
Well, you guys had coaches that weren't completely brain dead and understood the game of football.
Some.
Because you would have known that the way to beat the wing T isn't just to flood everybody in the mix. You would have been able to hold people back. Because your linebackers were...
I have to admit, Dara was our D coordinator. He was a really good D coordinator. He had the kids on defense disciplined. Because we faced a couple of option teams and everybody had their role and stuck to it.
As much as I didn't like Major Jordan, he was a good linebacker.
Yeah, he was also like 23 when he graduated high school.
Well, so was
he also was that, yeah.
And then I got the honor of blocking ye old Dane in college.
Go ahead and comment.
I remember seeing him, I guess it would have been his senior year, and I was like, wow, that kid looks like a fucking tank. And I remember telling that to Dick, and he's like, that kid's a pussy.
I mean, he kind of was. He was like...
Well, think about your line, though. You guys You guys were grown-ass men on that line.
We just had size. I mean...
Yeah, you did.
We had a lot of size.
I mean, look at Bud.
Yeah, Bubba was our smallest lineman.
But, like, he took up a lot of space as a center.
Yeah,
He did-
Bub was wide.
He was able to get under you too, because I even like if I would get around him when I played defense, fucking Gadinsky or whoever the other guard was right there to be like, nah, you're not going any further.
DJ.
I remember
I
at
mean,
one point.
you look at our on offense. You look at our starting five. Like even like what would you say, Joe? Like first 7 or 8, like we were all bigger people. Like we just had a lot of size to us. Like and like Joe always says, like even our 6th and 7th linemen would have started on any other team.
Well, you would have started on our team. We didn't even have enough guys to fill 5.
I mean, I can confidently say I was our 6th. And, I mean, short of Lee Heighton, I'm fairly certain... well, Lee Heighton and Northwestern Lehigh, I'm fairly certain I would have started on any single one of those.
No, see, I think you would even started on Lee Heighton. I don't think they fielded 5 solid linemen on their team. Northwestern was a good team, though.
I could say we had 3.
Their line was a very good matchup.
It was.
They were some solid farm boys.
And it wasn't a bad game when you look back at it. It was a 2-point game.
That's why I was always a big advocate for Schuylkill League compared to the Heartland. Because
Mount Carmel more fits with that league.
the teams that we played, they're just they were soft. The D line. Like we played a guy my senior year for Central Mountain. He was 6'8", 420 pounds.
Oh my god!
But it was the easiest game ever. He didn't do anything. He stood straight up.
Panther Valley had a kid like that our junior year.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Was he athletic at all, or was he just there to take up space?
No. It was horrible. He was literally there to take up space.
That's the thing about high school football. Well, I guess really passionate schools, they just find the biggest kids and they're like, they could be a lineman.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's all it really is.
And let's be honest, we got some of them kids down at LVC too.
We had a lot of females that could have been starting linemen.
I mean, that's what they did with me. They put me on lineman solely because I was big, never mind the fact that I had the athleticism of a corner.
Yeah, I mean, Joe was a lockdown corner. You never got to see that, I believe, but when we put him in on defense, he was a shutdown corner. They called it Showy Island.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about football, though. When they put the fat kid out and wide receiver, give him the ball.
It was fun. It was. We kind of veered off of the original topic of the wing T offense, though.
That's the way this is supposed to go. We just start
That's
talking.
true. And I mean, I guess we kind of all said our piece about the wing T.
I think the wing T could be a part of the game, but it shouldn't be your whole game.
Now, what are we talking about here for wing T? Like, are we talking about at the high school level, the college level?
High school.
I see high school. You can get away with it, though.
Well, there was an article. I want to say this might have been 2 years ago that college coaches said stop running the wing T because they'll never use it in college.
Some colleges do, though.
Is it starting to make its way in? Would you say?
No, I don't think like your major programs are ever going to use it. But
the FCS schools and shit, like the Presbyterians and.
Well, look at your academy schools; they use it.
Georgia Tech used to use it for quite a while.
Well, now everybody's going to the fucking spread. Speaking of college football, Joe, what are your thoughts on the Coach Franklin 10-year deal?
I'll be quiet for this one.
Because I know what I think about it, and I'd like to hear from an actual fan.
I mean, I don't think he's a good coach. I don't. I mean, I think our recruiting is going to be. We're going to have a top 10 class for like the next 10 years because he's a very good recruiter. But
10 years though, that seems a little.
Like your recruiting only does you so good if you transition it onto the field.
Exactly. That's what.
I think
Sorry,
Singleton.
I just came back and I heard you talking about recruiting. I would assume it when something like James Franklin is a good recruiter. Because he is. But I think what you were getting at, Joe, what you were saying was, you know, you can have the best players on that field, but you still need to coach them.
That's pretty much exactly what I said.
He'd probably be a great coordinator.
For what, though? Because I don't think he does anything exceptionally well.
Wasn't he an offensive coordinator at Vanderbilt? Or was
he was the head coach.
Well, he had to be some sort of coordinator before that.
Maybe OC. Hold on, let me look it up.
I mean, I don't know if it was him or Penn State's offensive coordinator at the time, but I always told Joe, like, I didn't like their playbook.
Are you talking about, like, back when it was Saquon and McSorley and stuff? Or, further? Well, that was the offense coordinator's playbook.
Because, I don't know, like, there are some questionable plays and some questionable calls.
You know what?
Interesting.
The big one was in the Rose Bowl versus USC when he had McSorley just fucking throw it.
Yeah, up like 2 scores and was throwing.
Yeah. Instead of you have the best college football running back and you're down there trying to lob it 70 yards when he can only throw 40.
I was going to say, and I mean, let's be honest, McSorley is not the greatest passer.
No.
All right, so here is James Franklin's coaching career. Well, first off, he played football at East Stroudsburg.
I knew that. My uncle actually played with him.
Well, I didn't. What did you say?
Wasn't he a quarterback?
Yes.
My uncle also went to East Stroudsburg. He played with him.
'95, he was a wide receivers coach at Kutztown. '96, he was a D-backs coach at East Stroudsburg. '96, he was an offensive coordinator for the Roskilde Kings. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Fuck Kings.
'97, he was a wide receivers coach at James Madison. '98, he was a tight end coach at Washington State. '99, he was a wide receiver coach at Idaho State. From 2000 to 2004, he was a wide receivers and what's RC?
Oh, RC?
Yeah, I don't know what RC would stand for.
I have no idea.
Well, he was a wide receivers and RC coach at Maryland.
RC?
2005, he was a wide receivers coach for the Green Bay Packers.
Really?
Yeah. 06 and 07, he was offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Kansas State. 2008 and 10, 2008 to 10, he was assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach at Maryland again. 11 to 13, Vandy head coach, and 14 to present. And present is going to last until 2032.
Unless Penn State decides to buy him out.
Damn. I mean, In your opinion, what does it take to get rid of a coach, though, that you just signed for that many years?
I mean, I think you got to give him 4 years with this recruiting class that we just got.
Yeah.
With like Aller and Singleton and all those guys. You have to give it a chance.
So are they gonna play that kid this year, quarterback, or are they just gonna give what's his name another year?
I think they're just going to give Clifford another year. I mean,
He's been there since school opened.
yeah, he's been there for a while. And fun fact, he is currently not our all-time leader in passing yards.
Even though he's been playing for 10 years.
Yeah, he will break it this year because he's only like 1,000 yards off.
Well,
If
what
that-
year? What technical year is this? His 6th or 7th?
Oh man.
Because Pickett went for 7.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look this up.
Because Pickett, did the usual red shirt, and then he did his 4 years and his graduate year and and his Corona year.
He's a redshirt senior plus. So, whatever the hell that means.
That's 6, I think.
He has played.
In
He played a couple games in 18, 19, 20, and 21. So this will be his 5th year playing.
But did he have a year in 17?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Does it say when he graduated high school?
Also trying to figure that out.
Like, I get why he's in school that long, but
He graduated in 2017. So he's been at Penn State from 2017 to present. So yeah, I guess there'd be a red shirt in there. So this will be his 6th year. So wait, 17? 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, 23. Yeah, this will be his 6th year.
damn.
How do you feel that you got 6 years of Mr. Clifford?
Stop it.
I mean, Mr. Clifford got 6 years of free schooling.
Mr. Clifford gave me 6 years of high blood pressure.
Well, 5. He didn't play that
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I guess.
And Joe was saying it leaves a real sour taste in his mouth that Will Levis with the Kentucky is doing well.
I love watching him. Is that a real thought, Joe, or is he just being an asshole?
No, it genuinely bothers me that we picked Clifford over Levis. And Levis is currently projected as like the 1st overall pick for next year.
I mean, he had a stellar year this year. And Kentucky isn't really known as like a big football school.
No, they're not, but
I think he kind of gave them like a little revitalize because he's so electric and stuff. I'm surprised they went with Clifford over him, given the fact that how much they love McSorley, and I'd say Levitt was really close to his play style.
yeah, I agree. Same thing with Tommy Stevens. Tommy Stevens was very similar to Trace.
Well, didn't he leave because of Trace, or was he still also behind Clifford?
I don't know on that.
I could have, if I'm remembering right, I think he left the year Clifford would have started. Because he went to like Mississippi State or something, and he didn't play at all.
No, he played at Mississippi State.
He did?
Yeah, he did. He got drafted.
Free What round? Late round, I assume? 7?
Seventh round to the Saints. He's playing up in the CFL now. I know that.
Shit, that's a paycheck either way.
Paycheck that's probably better than mine.
It's 100% better. Being a backup quarterback in the NFL is the best position you can have.
Oh, hell yeah. You just got to show up to 16, now 17 games.
And if your team's in the playoffs, you might have to play one.
Yeah, and who gives a fuck last game of the year?
I saw an article that, wherever Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert are,
Kyle Trask is on the Bucks.
Okay, so on Bucks. They said he's a third string, and they would rather have Blaine Gabbert as a backup than him because he hasn't gotten the reps. I've seen Blaine Gabbert play in the NFL. It's tough. He's not very good.
No, he's really not, is he?
It's tough.
I mean, he's failing that there. I just feel worried about it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, I'd rather give Kyle Trask a chance than Blaine Gabbert.
You would think that's why they drafted him.
So there's a question I have for you then, and it's off topic. So we'll finish this topic first, but I'm going to ask you. So the 3 quarterbacks that got taken in that draft, who had the best NFL career? Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, or Jake Locker?
Oh.
Christian Ponder.
Honestly, probably Blaine Gabbert.
I mean, Gabbert's still playing.
Yeah, but Ponder had a couple good seasons where he led a team to a winning record.
I mean, he took him to the playoffs the year that Peterson almost rushed for
the
record. He took him to the playoffs.
Personally, out of all of them, I like Ponder better as a quarterback.
So I think Jake Locker had the most potential, but he just... I mean, damn him for taking care of himself and got injured and said, I'm done. Damn him for thinking of himself, you know?
Well, think about that signing bonus he probably got, so he's able to take a next step in his career. I mean, Christian Ponder was a analyst or a host at one point. Him and his hot ass wife.
Oh God.
Oh God.
So what's your question, Joe?
Yeah, he asked it.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Oh. I think you said because it was getting off topic.
So, from a statistical standpoint, Ponder played from 2011 to 2014, all in Minnesota, threw for 6,658 yards. And Gabbert played from 2011 and is still playing, technically, and has thrown for 9,273 yards.
Well, what was
So
his yards?
over a 10-year span, which is 6 more years than Ponder played, he's only thrown roughly 3,000 more yards than Ponder.
What were the years he played?
Huh?
What were his years he played, Ponder?
11 to 14.
But think about that. How many of Blaine Gabbert's passing yards have come after 2014?
Hold on, I'm looking it up now.
In 2015, he threw for 2,000 with the Niners.
Oh, that's right.
And in 17, he threw for over 1,000 with Arizona. And then the next highest would be 16 with the Niners. He threw for 925.
I mean, his 2014 season was 38 yards. Like,
yeah. I mean, his best statistical year was 2011.
I'd argue to say 2015.
Well, yeah, 2015 is actually a little better. You're right, because 2011 he threw 12 touchdowns with 11 interceptions. And his QBR rating was a 65.
Why? I also wonder if he played all 16 games in 2015.
For him to throw 2,000 yards, he had to play damn near it.
He played 8 games.
Strange.
So, I mean, that was pretty good for 8 games.
How many yards did he have?
A little over 2,000. Now, what do you think?
I mean,
okay,
that's
sorry.
very slightly over 250 yards a game.
Which, with the guys that we're talking about, isn't terrible.
No, because I don't really know. 2015 Niners, I don't even know who was on that team.
Would Crabtree have still been there?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That might have been his last year.
I'm looking it up. 2015 Niners. Oh boy. Oh, blank. That was when Kaepernick started. Oh, he had Reggie Bush. Wide receivers. He had Bolden.
Bruce Ellington. Quentin Patton. Blake Bell was his tight end.
Vernon Davis probably started.
He's not on the roster.
I've seen him on the roster.
Are you looking?
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one.
Are you 14-15 or 15-16?
This just says 15. But no, to answer Joe's question, Crabtree was not there.
Or anybody even remotely to get excited about.
They had Vance McDonald, though.
Good old Vanny Mac.
He might have been the starter, honestly, Lee.
Yay. So out of this year's draft, who do you think has the best potential to have a good NFL career?
Out of this year's draft, huh?
Are we talking quarterbacks or are we opening that up to every
quarterback? Stay on that topic. Personally, I wish Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett would have switched places in the draft.
Riley, relax.
I don't see him being productive at Pitt.
I didn't see any of these quarterbacks being productive, which is why I didn't want one.
I mean, I think they were better off I think Pittsburgh was better off just taking their chances with Trubisky.
I agree. I mean, they're still probably going to. He's still probably going to start most of the games.
But I would even say that like this draft year's quarterback is going to be better than last year's.
Oh, absolutely. Bryce Young looks promising. I mean, it's not typical that you get back-to-back Alabama quarterbacks that could turn into an NFL.
I like the way how poised he was, though, throughout the season. For a young kid like that?
Yeah.
He was very poised in the pocket and stuff. I mean, granted, you have human fucking trees in front of you blocking.
I mean, Joe could probably voice his opinion better on C.J. Stroud because I don't know. I haven't watched too much of him.
He's good, but I think he's a strong wide receiver core around him.
I just struggle believing in any Ohio State quarterback until they prove me wrong. I mean, take a look at the last ones that ended up in the pros. None of them have done well. Jury's still out on Justin Fields, but I don't believe in him.
Oh, he's gonna end up dying in Chicago.
Dwayne Haskins died in Florida.
Oh man, yeah, he did, didn't he?
I mean, technically. I mean, we brought that up. We brought it up, so.
I think Fleming's gonna transfer this year.
They said he wants to.
He's getting fucked.
I mean, he should. I mean,
They've
Jackson
been
Smith
fucking him from
was
the
better.
beginning.
But
what did he expect? I mean, Ohio State's always going to pull in good wide receivers.
Yeah, but when he came to Ohio State, he had a shoulder injury. They should have just got him surgery, gave him the fucking COVID year to recover, and had him come fresh for the full season. And then next thing you know, Olave's like, nah, I'm going to fucking stay. Screws him another year. And now this year, Smith and Najuga and Marvin Harrison Jr. are probably going to be the 1-2 go-to.
Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, that kind of makes sense. I was talking to Matt the other day, and Penn State for this upcoming year has signed Donald Driver Jr.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're going to have Donald Driver Jr. and Joey Porter Jr. on one team.
It's not good.
No.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
And you're going to have that new guy to throw to him. I'm assuming he played wide receiver, right?
Who?
Donald Driver Jr.
Ooh. Don't know. Donald Driver's son is also not Donald Driver Jr. I just didn't know his first name, so that's what I was referring to him as. It's Christian Driver. And I can't figure out what position. I can't figure out the position. What the hell?
Oh, he did good enough to get to the
He's a
Division I.
receiver / D-back, so I don't know what he's doing in college.
He looks like a dude.
I mean, he's wearing number 13. That's a receiver number.
I mean, Joey Porter Jr. wears 9.
Yeah, but Joey Porter. Who wears 9?
Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, but he doesn't know any better.
Well, who's to say Mr. Driver does?
He probably knows more than Joey Porter Jr. Come on.
I guess that's true. I mean, it's kind of hard not to. Anyway, the other two quarterbacks in the top 5 that we didn't talk about, Will Levis. We already kind of did talk about him, actually. DJ Uiagalelei. I don't know how to fucking say that.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't like him that much.
I don't either. I believe I could have threw for 4,000 yards on that Clemson team.
Well, I
When
mean,
Lawrence was out.
I believe that the way we said it, Joe, was he looks like a newborn baby deer.
Yeah, when he decided it was time to run, he looked like a baby deer on ice.
well, I remember watching him fucking against Pitt. It was hard. It was hard to watch him.
He had a cannon though.
This past year, or when he was filling in?
This past year, when the quarterback got hurt and he came in.
Oh, so that's 2 years ago.
Yeah, he started this past year.
Okay, so 2 years ago. I mean, this year he didn't do any better, but 2 years ago it was hard to watch. But granted, anybody could have led that Clemson team.
Right. And then the other guy that they have, Anthony Richardson from Florida, I don't know anything about.
I don't either. As far as I knew, Emory Jones was still their starting quarterback.
He didn't.
So
He didn't graduate yet.
who?
Emory Jones. I feel like
I
he's
mean,
been there.
maybe they're projecting this guy to do really good this year, but I thought Emory Jones was still their quarterback last year.
Wasn't there a lot of problems though with that whole Florida quarterback situation?
I don't know.
They have another guy in the top 10, Tyler Van Dyke out of Miami.
Yeah, I heard promising things about him.
As Mad Dog would say, he's that dude.
They're
Of course he is.
They're projecting him to be that dude. They think he's gonna be a star.
I'm just upset Miami got rid of the turnover chain.
Well, yeah. I like this mock draft that I'm looking at though because it has the Steelers taking Skoronski.
That's the lineman from Pitt, correct?
Northwestern.
Why did I say Pitt? His name's Peter Skoronsky. I don't know why. Yeah, okay. I didn't know where it was, but I knew it wasn't Pitt.
Other than that, I'm not seeing any quarterbacks. Oh wait, another first rounder, Phil Jerkovich.
Boston College. Don't know anything about him other than the fact that he goes to Boston College.
He was a Notre Dame transfer.
The Patriots are gonna end up taking the guy from Starbucks.
What did you just say?
The Patriots are gonna end up taking the guy from Starbucks.
That Bailey Zapp?
Mike from Starbucks. That's usually what they get.
Yeah, that was all the quarterbacks projected first round.
That's a pretty hefty class.
It says Michael Mayer going in 11th. Michael Mayer's going to be solid wide or tight end somewhere.
Hopefully Dallas.
You don't like
They made it. What, Lee?
You don't like Schultz?
No, not really. I mean, we did draft the tight end from Wisconsin this year. I think he's solid, but he's more of a blocker than a catcher. I think Jake Ferguson.
That's great to have, though. That's a great combo if you have a guy who can block.
The good thing about Jason Witten, he could catch and block.
Oh, he was a 5-tool player.
He was never going to really wow you with his receiving stats, but he was like solid.
Yeah, but if you needed that catch, he was your guy.
I was going to say he was exactly what a tight end should be, a safety.
When it was like 3rd and 3 or they're on the red zone, Witten was that dude.
Yeah, and then he went to the Raiders.
Well, he retired first.
Yeah, retired, then came back with the Cowboys, then played another year with the Raiders.
I think he just wanted to play, and it just didn't work out in his favor.
I mean, how old was he at that point?
Oh,
40, pushing 40 had to have been.
He had to be 40, 41.
I mean, it's tough to play a professional sport that old, any professional sport, but in a position like tight end.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brady could do it at quarterback because he's not really taking many hits.
Well, he's also Tom Brady.
I mean, Witten was never afraid of contact. He kind of like welcomed it.
But I mean, you have to be that way if you're going to block.
Well, were you a big Heath guy?
Was. I was a big fan. He was like a toned down wit.
That's okay. So that was gonna be my follow up.
He was mainly a blocking tight end though, but he would make that third down catch for you.
I mean, the Patriots had the double tight end with Gronk and Hernandez, and then Hernandez had to go and fucking kill some guy.
Kill a guy.
Hernandez took a little vacation.
Permanent vacation. I'd love to see a 30 for 30 on that Florida team.
I would too.
Especially like how most of them ended up.
I'm surprised they haven't done one.
I think they're waiting to see if anybody else does anything. I mean, the Pouncey brothers alone, they were straight dudes.
Yeah, and that one really hurt the Steelers.
Losing good old Marquise.
Yeah, he was a menace.
He was a dude. That guy he was solid.
He was violent.
Yeah. Which is very, for a center, you don't get many qualities like that. That line that the Steelers had, though, at that time, they were good.
Yeah, the Steelers can never put it together. We wasted a good offense with a bad defense. Now we're wasting a good defense with a bad offense.
You got that fucking freak, TJ Watt.
He's a problem.
He is an issue.
They fucking made him in some sort of lab.
Honestly, it seems that way. I think that's where all the Watt brothers come from.
He's this perfect combination of speed and strength and elusiveness. And then he'll break your leg.
I have to admit, it's a shame to see JJ starting to take a turn for the worse. Yeah, because, I mean, between him getting older and all the injuries, it's expected, but not something you necessarily want to see.
No, he was, when he was in his prime, he was a menace. Easily one of the best defensive players to watch. Because he was a guy who didn't care if he got hurt or if he fucked himself up.
Yeah, but in the long run, I think that's shortening his career.
I mean, that's probably very true.
I mean, it's probably be a big number of how many injuries he played through early in his career.
So who is the best defensive lineman in the league right now?
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that's a dumb question.
I mean, that dude was made in a lab. To be that big and just, he looks like a damn model.
Did you see him during the Super Bowl parade?
When he was fucking hammered?
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine looking that good, and I don't know. He's built different.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Because in college, he looked like this pudgy little teddy bear looking guy.
Yeah, he's one of your fellas.
Yeah. I mean, like he was big and stuff and like good, but he didn't look like what he did now. Like he slimmed down, put on 70 pounds of muscle. He kind of looked like a teddy bear. But if you do look at his contract compared to like Aaron Rodgers' contract, the disparity is just unreal.
Okay, now call me stupid, but why would Aaron Rodgers go back to Green Bay?
Because they offered him $1 billion.
But still, like there's no way he's in it for the money. Still, he's made his money. I mean, I guess technically he's also won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they promised him that in the next coming years they're gonna reload.
But how many years does he have left?
Well, what's his contract? 5?
I don't know.
I think he signed 4.
4?
Yeah,
Probably
I
4.
think.
If it doesn't get better in 4,
But you look at the state of their team. I don't see it really getting much better in 4.
it might get to the point where they might just buy him out or trade his contract away.
I mean, why not?
Well, that brings up the point. Do you think anybody tried to match that, or Green Bay threw out that number and everybody withdrew?
I doubt anybody wanted to match that because of his age.
I think he was probably under the assumption that Devontae Adams was coming back too.
And then he didn't.
Was that his decision or the organization's?
That I don't know.
I want to say I felt like it was the organization's.
Probably.
Well, how do you feel about Juju going to Kansas City?
I'm actually happy about it. Juju, I mean, he's really not good.
Do you think that'll open up Claypool more?
Not exactly. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, the Steelers' wide receivers position it's in a weird spot right now.
I mean, do they really have anybody who's like a number 1 guy?
They try to make Deontay Johnson their number 1. I don't think he plays like a number 1 though.
Well, I saw Antonio Brown tweeted the other day. He wants to retire a Steeler.
No thanks. I don't think we need that. Like Claypool will never be a number 1 though because his sole purpose is to stretch the field. You don't really want your number 1 guy to do that, unless it's Tyreek Hill, obviously.
Do you think he's gonna help the Jets, or you think the Jets are kind of just like a lost cause at this point?
Well, no, because he went to the Dolphins.
Nice try, Lee.
Who am I thinking of Devontae Adams?
No, he went to the Raiders.
Who the fuck am I? Who went to the Jets?
Nobody's really helping the Jets. I think, honestly, the Jets had a pretty solid draft this year.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
The Lions, I think, had a better one, though.
Man, I want to see what's his name do better so bad. Goff.
You want to see him do better?
I love him. I thought he was a solid quarterback.
Well, I mean, He had a lot of talent around him in Los Angeles, and for a year or two he did a lot with it, and then the last year or two he didn't.
But everybody have dips. Everybody has dips in their career.
I mean, yeah, and then they sent him to Detroit to die, basically.
If you're the Rams, though, you got to make that trade.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think you're winning the Super Bowl with Goff.
No. Well, do you think Joey B is gonna be back, or you think that was just a fluke of a year?
No, he'll be back. I think so, anyway.
Wait, who?
Burrow.
Bill Burr.
Oh. I don't know if it'll be this year exactly, but he'll definitely be back.
They definitely have to get their fucking line settled. Because didn't they set a record last year with how many times he was sacked? In the playoffs, I think.
It's possible. I forget what I was saying now.
Yeah, 51 times.
51 in the playoffs?
I think, no, overall.
Oh. I was going to say, that's ridiculous.
I mean, they poached Tyron Smith from the Cowboys, but he's a walking holding penalty at this point in his career.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little late to be poaching him, honestly.
Which that's a shame. I hate seeing guys that were like really good just start to slow down and become a shell of themselves.
I mean, it's also kind of self-inflicted. You got to know when to hang it up.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's very hard to debate the fact that Tyron Smith was one of the best tackles in the league for quite a while.
I think he
For a lot,
was
for
the best
what,
back in the league.
at least, 5 years at least?
I mean, there was probably like a 2-year stretch when we had DeMarco Murray, and he put up the ridiculous year where he might have been the best tackle in the league.
I think he was. And then you guys had that whole line was ridiculous.
I was going to say, they also had the best guard in the league.
I mean, until Quentin Nelson came around, and even at that, I think he's still probably number 2.
He is. Like, the only guy that could have gave him a shot was Marshall Yonda at the time, but I don't think he picked Marshall Yonda over Zach Martin.
No, he was just too solid of a player.
While we're at it, we also had the best center in the league for a point in time. Depending on the year, I mean, what were you looking at? Him, Marquise Pouncey, and Alex Mack?
Frederick.
I was going to say, centers are like not a dime a dozen. They're rare. Like, good centers are hard to come by.
Very. Very.
I would say the Patriots have one of the best centers right now in David Andrews.
Yeah, he's solid.
Who's the center? Oh, man. Who's the Bucks center?
Is that Jensen?
Ryan Jensen.
Is that him?
Yeah.
That might be who I'm thinking of. He's pretty solid.
Long haired dude.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is he young?
He's 30. They just re-signed him.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He was a 6th rounder.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that I think was drafted somewhat recently that turned out to be really good.
The guy the Colts took, Brian Allen.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
He's a monster. He's nasty.
Nasty.
Don't be nasty.
Connor McGovern for New York Jets.
You stop that shit. You stop it.
I mean, you got You got Ronnie Stanley on the Ravens too. If he wasn't hurt all the time, he would be really good.
He's not center though.
No, I was just still thinking lineman in general.
Oh, okay. Alex Leatherwood.
They played him. They switched him to guard.
No, I don't know why.
It's just I don't think it was working out at tackle for him.
He looks sophisticated.
You know, whatever came of Penei Sewell, I didn't really hear much about him.
Good question. I don't really know.
How do you spell that?
Penei or Sewell?
Either one.
Penei.
Sewell.
Sewell.
He is currently on the Lions.
I mean, I knew that, but I don't know how he performed.
He was part of the all-rookie team.
I must have did all right at the very least.
All right, Lee, what else you got for topics?
I mean, we've been going for an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
We've been going actually for over an hour.
Time flies when it's the triple special.
Do we want to stick with sports or do we want to get a little frisky?
Oh, let's get a little frisky because
Yeah, switch on to sports.
Easy.
Save some other sports topics for the next podcast.
Oh, we can get something that's hot in the news today: abortion.
Oh my god.
I have an opinion about abortion, but my opinion starts with contraception. I think all. Sorry.
This is when I start to fizzle out because I don't follow politics all that much. I don't really talk too much about politics. I can voice my opinion, but that's about all I can give.
That's the thing though. It doesn't have to be about politics.
No, you could just have an opinion on abortion and how you feel. We're not a political podcast.
Well,
true.
I mean, my opinion, mine starts with contraception. I think all contraception should be free. And then if you're still stupid enough not to use it, you should have to have that baby.
yeah, I mean, if you can't afford a kid,
Why risk it?
why risk it? Like a box of condoms is $5.
And if the fucker doesn't want to wear it, you say no. And if he continues, rest his ass for rape.
So I do have I'm glad you said that. I do have a couple of ways that like it's not it like I wouldn't want them to have a kid. Like if it's rape.
Sexual assault and rape is a terrible way to make you carry that baby for 9 months because it's just
Yes,
going to be a memory.
I don't think you should have to.
No, I agree.
I think in that case, I think if it's incest, like if we're talking like backwoods West Virginia, continuing the bloodline. We'd want. And I think if the mother's life is at risk.
Well,
like if it's going to cause like internal hemorrhaging and the mother's going to die, the mother's life should come first.
I think that's a decision that has to be made.
What I was going to say, what if the mother chooses the child though?
See, as someone who has a mother that is a nurse, like a medical doctor can't allow that because their job is to make sure a person like doesn't die.
So even if they say, I'd rather save my child, they have to still...
but the child isn't, major air quotes, born yet.
Well, how far along are we here in this pregnancy
Like-
cycle?
Like at pregnancy.
Oh, then that's different.
Like
But-
during
but-
childbirth, if
Oh,
something's
during
going
childbirth,
wrong.
then I don't think. I mean, see now
This see like that argument kind of contradicts. Like, you make the argument for abortion, against abortion rather, because the child is alive technically, right?
yes.
So even though the child isn't born yet, the mother should be able to choose the child over herself if she so chooses. Because technically, if you're saying abortion shouldn't be legal because the child's alive, technically that child's alive. It's a living human being.
I think that should be the choice to the parents.
I agree. I think it should. I mean, and my viewpoint on abortion is like, I'll never be pregnant. I'll never carry a child. So I personally don't think I should be the one making a decision on whether or not to allow a woman to get rid of a baby or not. It's just like, that's always a weird topic for me. I always kind of like,
Well, three guys
Exclude-
here talking about this is gonna be.
yeah, but I always kind of exclude myself from this topic because, like I said, I'm never gonna have to go through that, so
Exactly.
I shouldn't be the one voicing or making this, making a choice on that.
I guess my biggest thing is if you're dumb enough not to use contraception, something as simple as a condom.
Yeah, I mean, I do also agree with what you guys are saying. It could have been easily prevented.
Yeah, I feel like in a way it's kind of like rewarding dumbass kids for not using contraception. They have a way out.
Abortion should not be a form of birth control.
Exactly. That's and like even if your boyfriend wants to say no, fucking arrest his ass for rape. That's a
And-
lot of power.
Back to what Lee was saying earlier, birth control should also be a little more easily obtainable.
I don't think a girl should be charged an arm or leg to take a pill or whatever the shit they do is.
Right. Because you could say, yes, the condoms are $5 a box, but condoms have also been proven to not be 100%.
Oh, I agree. I don't think the pill should be however much it is.
Right.
But even if like she doesn't want to buy it, wear a condom, pull out,
Yeah.
be a normal functioning human being.
Yeah.
I agree. You get no argument from me on that.
But like I said, I mean, that's just the way I stand on a lot of things. If I'm not going to be the one that ever has to go through it, I don't really have too much of an opinion on it.
So if you had a kid right now, you would be fine with it being aborted.
I mean, that if she chooses to do that.
I mean, I'd like to have a conversation and discuss.
Yeah, like if I'm involved in making the baby, I should be involved in the decision. I think.
I guess.
True, you're involved in making it, but are you involved in the rest of the process?
Physically, no. Mentally, yes.
I mean, in a way, I look at it like if it's a long-term relationship, I feel like you should have some sort of say, like maybe like a 75-25. But if it's just a one-night stand, why even bother bringing that guy into the loop?
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I mean, in this case, you've been with your girlfriend how many years now? 4, 5?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But like, it's different than if you go out tonight, Joe, and bang a chick.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
But like, yeah, but even like, so if that were to happen to me, like right now with Jacqueline, yes, I would still voice my opinion, but at the end of the day, I don't think it should be my choice.
No, it's definitely ultimately her decision, and I'm not gonna piss and moan and cry
I was
about
going to
it.
say, I'm also not going to hold it against her if it
No.
goes against my opinion.
See, I disagree with you on that.
See, the way childbirth changes a woman's body, if they don't want to go through that, I wouldn't think anything less of them.
Especially like if they're not ready for it, like.
So then but then you're using it as a form of birth control. If you weren't ready for it, you shouldn't have did it.
I mean,
You're right.
accidents happen. Look at Reese.
Reese is a prime example, though, of doing it for the
Government.
benefits that go along with it.
Well, not the first time. Maybe the second too, but the first time I don't think so.
No, but he also stepped up. They both stepped up and said, like, we made the mistake. We're going to live with it.
Right. But that was both their choice.
When you get into like that long-term relationship area, it starts to get very hairy.
I think the guy should have something to say in that.
What was that, Joe?
I think the guy should have something to say in that.
I kind of disagree with that. Like I said, I'm not the one carrying that child for 9 months, and I'm not the one pushing it out of my body.
Yeah, like I struggle with that because like they're doing 9 months of work for my 5 seconds of work.
Well, he's a marathon man, lasting 5 seconds.
But I also feel like ahead of time you should know what your partner's plans are.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to have a kid, don't get pregnant.
You take the precautions.
I don't know. I struggle with that
You
because
have to take the precautions. That's where it all stems from.
that is where it all starts, and ultimately that's my main gripe with the situation. That ultimately, wow, words. Ultimately, I do agree with that.
I
But
think that's where I struggle too. With you had the ability to get condoms or whatever, plan B or whatever the fuck, and you chose not to and you wanted to risk it. You shouldn't be rewarded for your risk. Like, you shouldn't be given a reset button. Well, if we want to get off this topic, we can always move on to people wanting to leave the U.S. because they don't like it here.
Well, then they should.
This stemmed from when I was on Twitter the other day. Somebody said, "I wish I could leave," and somebody underneath goes, "Okay, go," and she goes, "Are you gonna pay for my way out?" And it made me think. There's fucking immigrants and refugees who come here with fucking 2 cents, maybe 2 pennies, and make it work. Why the fuck in a great country like this can't you take the money you have and go somewhere else and be successful?
I mean, if it's really quote unquote that bad that you need to leave, you're willing to pay to leave.
Cause they just like to voice their fucking shit because they know once they leave, they're not gonna have the same rights they have here.
No, and I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just kind of say that just to say it, honestly, anymore.
Yeah, because it's a way to get like clout or people to interact with your tweet.
The world just kind of revolves around crybabies anymore.
I mean, if you think it's so bad, go to Canada. You know, that's not that different than America.
Isn't like healthcare fucked up in Canada?
It's free, but you're not getting the same level. Like people want
If it's free, how are you paying for doctors and stuff? Like
Yeah, you're
Canada,
paying for it
Canada
somehow.
it's
yeah,
coming
nothing's
out.
ever free.
It's coming out of your like taxes and stuff.
Yeah, Canada is taxed very heavily.
And like but like I remember I want to say it was a class or it was like something we had to do for class, and it was a guy from Great Britain, and he said, "Yes, we have free healthcare, but when you come to United States, you pay for your healthcare, and you're better off in the end compared to going to some place that has free healthcare, because the level of service isn't the same, and it's by a long shot."
Well, yeah, there's that, and I mean, like, I know Joe feels very strongly about this. Like, nothing is ever for free, and that'll never work. I mean, there's a reason communism has failed time and time again.
Socialism is the last resort for a dying country.
Yes, it doesn't work.
I hate the idea of socialism and communism. Why the fuck would I have to go to work, 8 hours a day with a college degree and all that shit for some dude who's being a shithead in the Schuylkill County or Northumberland County doing nothing, getting the same as me?
And I mean, sadly, we're kind of doing that right now.
Well, I'm in health and human services, and I deal with areas from back home, and you could just see what walks in that door.
And probably is not a good sight.
No, it's like 7 fucking kids got their tattoos up and down their fucking shit. I see them at Walmart, they're buying their fucking T-bone steaks, and
I was just gonna say, and I'm gonna use Joe as an example because he's in a prime. He's like a perfect example for this. Joe is a teacher, a very necessary occupation in our country. Correct?
I 100% agree.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
Why the fuck is LeBron James making
Joe
more than
doesn't.
Joe?
I was gonna. Well, no, not even that. But like, doesn't it bother you? I mean, not even somebody that's working at like a job that doesn't require a degree or anything. I'm not even gonna go that far. Joe, does it bother you that somebody that doesn't work at all can go to Walmart and buy a flat screen TV and, like Lee said, buy steaks and stuff, while you're sitting here working as a teacher and maybe not necessarily able to do that?
I mean, it's infuriating. Like, why? Like, I make dog shit right now. I'm at a Catholic school. I don't get state pay. They don't have to meet state requirements. Whatever. It bothers me that basically it comes down to, for me, if you're gonna use that aid, why don't you use it? Why don't you use it for people that are working that just aren't at great paying jobs?
And if you went out tomorrow and tried to apply for that, they would laugh in your face and say no.
Yeah, and say, oh no, you have a job.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard to get a job. Like, people are hiring.
Right, and Joe, we were talking about this a little bit when I came home last weekend because we were going over your quizzes and stuff. To qualify for unemployment, you have to be actively searching. But like, how are we holding people to that standard? Yes, they could be applying to jobs, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to work.
Well, what's going to stop me from going on Indeed and applying for an engineering job that I have clearly no?
So, okay. So you're actually asking me something I know here. Applying for jobs is very liberally used. So Joe Schmo, who doesn't have a job, goes out on the street, talks to his neighbor, and says, "Do you know anywhere that's hiring?" That is considered actively looking for a job.
Which is terrible.
Like, yeah, okay, I could ask my neighbor that does not speak English, "Is anyone looking for a job?" He tosses his hands up and says, like, "No say, I have no idea what you're saying." And I just searched for a job.
that really how it is?
Yes.
And how do you like? The other thing is, how do you track that? How do you know that people are doing that?
You don't. So it's all like it's all hearsay.
And this state is fucking terrible at it too. That's why we're getting so many fucking scumbags coming here, because it's easier to get aid than other places.
And I have a hard time believing that unemployment was high, especially during COVID. Like, because I was working during COVID in a warehouse, and like we were constantly looking for people, constantly hiring, and it wasn't just us; it was everybody in that area because there's a ton of warehouses around that area. Like everybody was hiring, and they were just taking in anybody that applied. You don't have to meet requirements. We were just hiring whoever.
I mean, fuck, Jeld-Wen was set their thing to $25 an hour. That was more
Right.
than I was making.
That's the other thing. Their jobs were paying well, so like you can't tell me that you weren't looking. That you were looking.
No, it's pure fucking laziness.
But that also leads me to the question of how much are you making on unemployment?
How much did you make on unemployment? Was it more than what you were making at your job? Yeah. So Michaela was making more on unemployment than she was at her job.
Which is also ridiculous.
Or right around it. And it was a decent job, too. It was decent money. So how do you expect all these people to go back to work when they could just sit around and do nothing all day?
I mean, could we agree that minimum or unemployment should be minimum wage?
I agree.
Yeah.
Minimum effort, minimum wage.
I don't even know that it should be minimum wage.
Can we also agree that they should not raise minimum wage?
They just did it for us. The least you can come in as is like $15.23 an hour. And that's like clerk 1. If you have a fucking pulse, you get the job.
That's terrible. That all that's going to do is fuck our economy.
And I need a college degree plus all these years of experience. And
wait. Let me try this again. All raising minimum wage is going to do is make the middle class lower class.
They make $12 less than I do. And literally to be a clerk 1, you just, if you're a functioning, if you're an alive person, you can get this job.
Fuck, I'm better off going and pushing buttons at McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get that.
Well, Dizzy, you drive for work. How much do you pay in gas? Everything's going up by your fucking wage.
Yeah, I mean, I have to fill up usually twice a week.
Yeah.
And I fill up roughly $50 to fill up.
I'm around 80, 81.
I filled up yesterday. My gas light was on, which means I had about 50 miles left. I checked and I had like 48. So I wasn't like empty. $96.97.
That's terrible.
I only have an 18-gallon tank too, so I feel bad for you, Joe.
I kind of feel bad for both of you because you guys both got a truck kind of, I mean, a little before this happened, but at the wrong time. The timing was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a way, mine's not as bad as his because I get decent gas mileage because mine's only a 4-cylinder, but still, I would love to have my Subaru back.
That's my only saving grace right now is I get like 32 miles to the gallon.
That's what I was getting. It was at this time, it would have been perfect to have, too. I mean, I could sell my truck and get, like, what was it? $7,000 profit once I pay off the loan.
I mean, yeah, you could do that.
I'm not gonna, but I just, even like food, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, everything's going up.
I've been eating salads because lettuce is cheap. Like, how did I expect?
Salads because lettuce is cheap.
I mean, I get a big bag of it for like $2.39.
Huh?
Lean his old big old bag of lettuce.
That's enough. Here's another thing that pissed me off. Speaking of lettuce, because I started making salads for lunch, and I go into the lunchroom, and people are like, "Wow, your salad looks so good. We should give you money, and you can make us lunch." Motherfucker, you put salad in a bowl, you can put whatever the fuck you want in it. It doesn't take more than 2 seconds to make. You don't need to pay me. Stop being a lazy fuck and make a salad.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Tell us how you really feel about salads, Lee.
Well, it's not even salad. Like, I make my lunch ahead of time, and it's like nothing really too, exquisite. Like, why can't you take 2 fucking seconds to make your own goddamn lunch?
I'm there with you on that.
I didn't expect salads to trigger Lee so much.
It just pissed me off. Like, it takes 2 seconds to make. Why do you have to pay me or want me to make you lunch? You can put whatever you want in a fucking salad. It takes 2 seconds. Like, I've been sitting on that one for a while.
I can tell. My goodness.
So one of the things that gets me going is what we were talking about, like McDonald's and minimum wage and shit. Motherfucker, if I'm paying you $10 an hour to fry a burger,
It's more than that.
You better be making me the right fucking burger. You better be putting the right stuff in the bag and not forget my food or give me the wrong food.
But that's the McDonald's experience.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
And you gotta get treated like shit, too.
Yeah, we do have a McDonald's experience.
It's
It's either the guy that says, yeah, I like your taste, or it's either that guy, or they have to be absolutely ignorant. If they're nice to me, it just ruins my McDonald's experience. I'm not having fun then.
It doesn't taste right.
No, it doesn't.
Your burger doesn't taste good without the spit.
Yeah. Ignorance just adds something to the meal.
But every time I go to McDonald's, I can just guarantee something's not going to be in the bag.
Yeah, I can't do that to the triple special.
You know what's the best thing about fucking DoorDash, though, if I ever ordered DoorDash McDonald's? Like, if I say they forgot sausage, I get, like, $5 back. And, like, they don't even require proof.
I'm just gonna say my food was never delivered.
No, you got to do that part because they take pictures of it now. You got to say they just forgot, like, everything. Like, the one time I ordered Applebee's and they screwed up. They didn't give me the right anything. It was, like, nowhere near to what I ordered. And I got, like, $21 back for one singular thing.
From Applebee's.
Applebee's.
What is You guys keep going. I'll be right back.
Oh.
What do you want to talk about? This will be the chance. I'll be our promo guy. I would like to thank the viewers and the fans, for tuning in.
If you like,
Really,
please drop a like.
and a comment. We probably won't comment back, but and a comment.
Hey, if you ask a question, you'll be featured in the next episode.
Nah, hey, don't get ahead of yourself. However, if you ask a question, never mind, I'm an idiot. Yeah, ask a question, you'll get featured in the next episode.
This has been sponsored by the Triple Special.
Brought to you by what McDonald's was that?
That was the one.
That was the McDonald's at
Palmyra.
my school, wasn't it?
No, it was the one in Palmyra.
Yeah,
our school.
that's right.
Let's give a little background on how the Triple Special was created.
I don't even remember. I just know somebody asked for it.
We were at that McDonald's. I think this might have been one of the first times we hung out together. Because I think you were dropping Dizzy off or something. Were you up for WrestleMania?
Yeah, I was up for WrestleMania and
we
Royal Rumble a couple times.
Yeah, we went to McDonald's. We were sitting there eating, and the lady behind the counter goes, "Can I get a triple special?" And you turn around and go, "Yeah."
Yeah, here we are.
And you go, "Well, I guess we're the triple special now."
It just fits because me, you, and him, we're large fellas, so like we are the triple special.
Well, at the time, it was the most fitting because we probably had what $60 worth of food between the three of us.
Yeah, we did, if not more.
And it was just these three fat fucks sitting there with all this food, and she goes, "Let me get a triple special."
Yeah, all right.
Oh, that shit stuck.
I did, however, have a very strange outing one of the times I was down to visit you. I was schnockered. It was the night that I filled up your step with the beer cans. And I went with just Burbrick to Taco Bell.
Was that a weekend or was that an event?
That was a weekend.
All this talk about DoorDash and stuff is making me. I didn't eat dinner yet, so.
Was that the same weekend that you guys left, or was that a different one? When you brought Morgan's and his really hot girlfriend.
Oh wait, what are you talking about?
We were talking about the origin of Triple Special, and then Joe was talking about how we went with Burbrick to Taco Bell.
No, just I went to Taco Bell with Burbrick.
Yeah, we didn't go to that. Joe went alone. That was not the weekend Morgan's came.
No,
Joe left.
The weekend Morgan's came.
Burbrick brought his weird Pittsburgh friends.
Yes.
Yeah. No, the time I went with Burbrick was the night that I filled up your step with empty beer cans.
Yeah, that was the Royal Rumble.
I drank an unhealthy amount that night.
I'm pretty sure football might have been.
See, would you do it again, Joe?
Yes.
Absolutely.
When's the next Royal Rumble?
January.
We'll have a Royal Rumble podcast.
Yeah.
We'll drink.
Watch party.
Yeah, watch party. We can't actually stream it. We'll get.
Yeah, that's all.
Vince McMahon will come and.
We don't have the legal team to support that.
No, we don't.
Well, I'm down for doing this for.
But if that's the case, we could set up. We can set it up where we're all together, and we can have video on all of us, and we can do live commentary. We could go live on Twitch, do a live podcast.
Interesting.
So we can bring a computer and stuff. We'll set it up. We'll get a webcam. We'll get all three of us in the frame. We'll set up some microphones.
That is interesting.
And we'll have the TV up by the computer so we can watch it, but they don't actually get to see what's happening.
But when do we get Mad Dog as a special guest?
We can. Hey,
Well,
we
Mad Dog can't speak English, so I don't know.
we can have him on the next one as a special guest,
Oh boy.
or we can establish ourselves first and then introduce guests. I feel like we should get Smartcanic on here, but, a doctor. He can tell us about COVID. I think Mad Dog would do great. I think that'd be a great episode.
The thing there is we would just have to talk about sports because I don't know how like up to date he is with like other topics.
That's fine. We'd have a list of questions we can ask him. Like, we can start off by saying, who is Mad Dog today? And he could tell us about his life and, like, where he started to where he is now.
You really want to learn that much about Mad Dog's life?
See, it's not for our enjoyment, though. It's for our viewers. And people love idiots on the internet.
Yeah.
And there's no bigger idiot.
So big.
So good.
All right. What did I miss? I just got back.
Oh, you missed it.
Yes, I did.
We were talking about Mad Dog.
Oh Jesus! I don't really want to know.
And how the internet would love him, because the internet loves stupid people.
Wait, how long have you been gone? I thought you were just talking again recently.
I stepped out again.
Oh.
You know what we should do? Sorry.
Fuck.
4th of July podcast.
Oh God, in person.
In person, we get absolutely fucking blitzed.
Well, Lee, come through.
I will. That won't be a live one. That will just be a recorded one.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Because I feel like that might need some editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of I don't fucking know.
Tell you what, if that's the worst
at
that's
that.
said, I'll be happy.
There would be a lot of spewage in that.
We can have Jim on.
Oh God. No. That's how you get canceled.
See, like, that would be a great episode, because we'd get a lot of, like, traction on it from people who hate him, and then the people who love him, like the extremists.
Yeah, but are we looking to get crucified for the things we say?
No press is bad press.
It's true. Wait. Yeah, that is true. I had to think about that for a second, but I figured it out.
I watch a podcast, or I listen to a podcast that has, like, controversial audiences on it.
Yeah, that's.
And they're the best ones on the channel. Because people listen and like, this fucking guy. And they listen the whole time and they'll leave like a rant in the comments.
Pete Repeat has a podcast.
It's not good.
We're going to be on YouTube. No, not Instagram. Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Are you actually posting this?
Yeah.
Only a crisp $20 bill to buy our podcast.
See, now, like, if we get some traction for the WrestleMania one, We could do we could do a live pay for podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
now we're talking.
Yeah. So when does this become financially profitable for us?
Oh, we have to get views, and then we have to get. Well, if we get enough views, we'll get ads. And then ads will pay us money to do ad reads. And then we can, once we get big enough, we will become monetized. And after so many views, you get a royalties check. So I think 5 podcasts should be enough.
If we start talking about wrestling, though, I guess that means I'm going to actually have to figure out what's going on.
I think.
Yeah, I'm a little out of the loop with it.
I mean, we don't need to. We could just, view and talk about what's going on.
But we don't know what's going on, Lee.
Well, that's the best part of it. We'll have people in the chat telling us what's going on.
So how long do these usually go?
Oh, we're probably a little bit over than what normally they are. Usually about an hour and a half.
So we're into the bonus content now.
Well, I could technically go if we keep this going for 20 more minutes. I could probably break this up into 2 episodes. But I don't think I want to do that. I think this has been a great episode to let the fans get to know us.
Everybody know who we are? Not yet, though. But they will.
Soon.
That's the plan.
So I feel like we kind of need like a catchy tagline to like introduce and leave. We need to come up with something witty to say.
Oh.
If we don't see you, we'll smell you.
Okay, no.
No.
That's something we gotta do off the whatchamacallit.
If you got it, good. If you don't, figure it out.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I like it. I like it a lot.
What was it? I missed it.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Okay, I like that.
Well,
so I'll get tomorrow. I'll get up and edit this, and then I can send you guys the finished project.
All right.
We also need to put together a schedule. How often are we doing this? What day?
Most of the people do it once a week.
Once a week?
They upload once a week.
And I mean, realistically, we could do it like maybe I'm missing 1 week or Joe's missing 1 week. We could still do it with a 2-man.
Hell, I do it by myself. I could talk.
Yeah, maybe me and Joe are both unavailable.
Yeah.
Lee has to go by himself.
I figure we could do it Friday or Saturday, then won't be that interference. We can any day on the weekend will probably work.
Yeah, at least once a weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could do 2 shows, and I'll have 2 weeks backed up.
We could. We need to schedule a weekend off. We could do 2 nights.
Yeah. So if you're listening, we're going to be a weekly podcast. We are the Triple Special.
There was a lot of awkward silence there.
I thought that was it. I thought he was ending it.
I thought he was.
Do you want to end it? I can end it, and I'll just edit that out.
Yeah.
No. Keep it. Leave the bloopers.
Yeah, that's bonus content for our YouTube channel.
For
That's the good shit.
If you're on YouTube, drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment. Leave us a question, and we will be featured in the next episode.
Here's more bonus content.
If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, drop a like, drop a follow, leave a review,
Go fuck
leave
yourself.
a comment, and go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Any closing words?
no.
I'm trying to think of a closing words. I'm trying to leave this off with a little words of wisdom every time.
If you're coming here for smart content, you came to the wrong place.
If Deshaun Watson can get acquitted, so can you.
Next week, we're going to talk about pedophiles.
It's gonna be a banger.
I have a couple ideas. I forgot my notebook at work, so I'll have to bring it home. I know pedophiles is on there. Participation trophies. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're never gonna have a topic that just strands throughout the whole.
No, because depending on the sports that are going on at the time, I mean, we can always catch up on that, life in general.
Maybe if there's like a big news topic, we can always talk about. I just hope when we blow up, you guys don't leave and like go on your own.
I'm not capable of that.
You know, once we get big, we'll be able to have a studio. Well, we'll get to meet every week and we'll get to record with like producers and stuff. People who actually know what they're doing.
Oh my god, it'll be crazy.
We won't actually have to do work. We'll just kind of have to show up.
Yeah, show up and bullshit a little bit.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I think these get interesting once we get a few brews flowing through us.
Oh well, that'll come. Those times will come.
Well, this one was just the pilot. You know, we had to get
This is the inaugural. You know, this is
Next week we'll feel comfortable.
Right, we shook the nerves out. We did it once. We went through the motion. We're gonna get a little better every time.
And then next week we can put a little brews together. We can plan out some brews.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.